Mr. Bennett, what is it that you said?
Well, Andrew, I alluded to waste problems in the City Road area of Cardiff, and I said that these had intensified in recent years with the arrival in that area of high numbers of Eastern European immigrants, and I suggested that the problem may be connected with that development in the area.
All right. Now I see you're our second guest this morning having trouble with an earpiece. I'll just let. Are you all right now? You got that
yeah,
back in?
I can hear you now, Andrew.
Thank you very much. But you said, I think, that that there's a hygiene problem. What is that hygiene problem?
Well, it's caused by lots of black bags being left outside houses. There's lots of anecdotal evidence from residents who've told me about this problem, and on the very day I did the interview, there was a piece in the South Wales Echo which I hadn't actually seen at the time I did the interview. Here it is, and it demonstrates again that very problem. You might be able to pick up the large number of black bags that have simply been thrown in the front garden, not on a rubbish collection day. So that's clear evidence. These are the local residents complaining. That's clear evidence that there is such a problem. And of course, once I get into the Assembly, then I will be representing the views of these residents. So it seems rather strange, the suggestion that I shouldn't be representing their very genuine concerns about this issue.
But what evidence do you have that if there is this rubbish problem, if I can put it like that it's migrants who are causing it?
Well, I haven't got any firm evidence to give you now, but if you wish, I can come back in a week's time with lots of residents from that area, and we can have a talk live on air if you want about that problem. Many have connected it in talks with me to the Eastern European influx, and I'm happy to bring those people into the studio. But the only problem is, Andrew, you might need a bigger studio.
Indeed, well, you could say that in general. But would it not have been wise to have checked the evidence first, to have established the evidence before making the accusation that East European migrants are causing, quote, a hygiene problem? Wouldn't that have been sensible?
Yes, it would have been very sensible,
so why did you do
Andrew.
it?
Well, where would I have gleaned the evidence from? Where is this data kept? Can you tell me what outlet, which council department would tell me the connection between these two issues? There's very clear empirical evidence, Andrew. 15 years ago, we did not have this level of immigration in the City Road area of Cardiff, and we did not have this level of a hygiene problem. That is clear empirical evidence.
Why do you think it's East European immigrants that are particularly to blame for this?
Because many people have told me that this is so. That's why I believe it to be the case.
But you haven't yet established independent evidence. Have you spoken to any of these immigrants who live on these streets, the East European migrants, to see if they are responsible and what they say?
Oh, so I go up to them and say, please sir, are you responsible for the black bag problem? What do you think their response to that's going to be?
Well, either yes or no, I would have thought.
And a punch in the face is another possibility.
Oh, so they're violent as well as unhygienic?
I'm not suggesting that they are endemically, but all I'm suggesting is, well, if you want to do that yourself, Andrew, come down to Cardiff, come to City Road, and then you can ask them and see what the response is.
All right. Where do you go from here? Are you now in some trouble with your party? Do they want to try and remove you from the list?
I believe that may be the case, although I don't know. I haven't spoken to anyone from the party today, but I believe that moves may be
They've been trying to get a hold of you.
Well, indeed, but I was coming on here. This was my
priority. No, we're very grateful
for
that.
To you.
All right.
Thank you. The party should realise that, well, they know this. I've sent them a letter today with a draft of a legal letter, so that if they try to deselect me without due process, they will face a legal action from me for lost earnings of £300,000. So they are aware of this. Another suggestion I have is if they believe my comments have brought the party into disrepute, we could have a rerun of the candidate selection process in which I was elected as the lead candidate by the Ukip party members throughout Wales. If they want to, we can have a rerun of that.
Okay.
And if the Ukip party members think that my comments are in any way disreputable, they can vote accordingly.
Indeed.
So it would be interesting to see if we had that rerun ballot, where I would place in it.
All right. Sounds like you're going to be fighting more among yourselves than for a seat in the Welsh Assembly. Is it true that you don't like knocking on doors, though? Is it true that that you don't like You don't think politicians should knock on doors to get people's votes?
Andrew, lots of people are watching Coronation Street and they don't like to be interrupted from doing that. And what happens with canvassing is you get a lot of skewed results. I've seen lots of candidates campaigning for the first time who get election fever. They come into branch meetings telling us they're going to win the seat and they get 15%. When you knock on people's doors and they're watching Coronation Street, they're liable to tell you that they will vote for you. They're liable to tell you anything to get rid of you. So there is a limited scope for canvassing. In tight marginal seats, there is some case for it, but not always.
Just finally, Mr. Bennett, are you UKIP's new loose cannon? I understand you've described the Labour leader of the Cardiff Council as brain dead.
I believe I did say that in the interview, yes, but that view is widely held in Cardiff, even within the Labour Party. He's mostly criticised from within his own party, in fact.
All right. So you're not wishing to retract that at all?
Oh, no, I never retract anything I say publicly, Andrew.
That's clear.